You are being robbed. Those yellowed, sticky, grease-laden cabinets, they are the bait for a $20,000 scam built on a massive industry lie. Today, I'm exposing how to completely resurrect your kitchen using a $3 dirt-cheap chemical powder trusted by every high-end professional painter in America. If your kitchen looks disgusting or your cabinets seem expired, your paint isn't dying. It's just suffocating under a polymerized chemical seal. The remodeling industry wants to pickpocket you every single time with overpriced total tearouts that are nothing more than cosmetic gaslighting wrapped in marketing. I'll show you the exact $3 execution protocol in just a minute. But first, you need to immediately stop using a deadly DIY internet hack that is silently sanding away your factory finish right now. This is what they hide. Let's get into it. Why has this miracle powder vanished from the average American's toolkit? It wasn't an accident. It was a masterclass in perception management. Go back to 2010. You might remember the phosphate panic. 17 states implemented a mandatory ban on phosphates, claiming it was an environmental victory against algae blooms. But here is the nuance the industry forgot to mention. The ban applied to mass-market laundry and dishwasher detergents, high-volume products used by millions of people every single day. TSP was never banned. It remains 100% legal, sitting in plain sight on the back shelf of every hardware store in the country. But the industry saw a golden opportunity. They let the media create a cloud of phosphate shaming, rebranding everything as phosphate-free and eco-safe. Suddenly, TSP was treated like a toxic relic of the 1950s. This was a billion-dollar gift to the remodeling industry. By removing the one product that actually works from the public conversation, they forced you into a disposable kitchen mindset. When your cabinets turned yellow, you didn't reach for a $3 box of powder because you were told it didn't exist or was dangerous. Instead, you reached for your checkbook to pay for a $5,000 refacing service or a $15,000 tear-out. The professional betrayal. But here is the real smoking gun. Every high-end cabinet painter in America still has a box of TSP in their truck. It is the mandatory first step in their process. They arrive at your house, charge you a $1,500 surface prep fee, and use this exact powder to strip away decades of grease. The betrayal happens in the first 20 minutes of the job. As they wipe your cabinets with TSP, they watch the original, flawless factory paint emerge from under the grime. They see that your cabinets don't actually need a single drop of new paint. But they aren't going to tell you that. Why? Because you can't justify a $4,000 invoice for an hour of cleaning. They proceed to sand and paint over a perfectly good surface just to protect the quote. They are literally painting over the truth to keep your money in their pockets. It's the ultimate corporate gaslighting. They've convinced us that clean is impossible, so that replacement becomes inevitable. Standard household cleaners fail because they are designed to fight an enemy that isn't there. When you spray your cabinets with that blue dish soap or a lemon-scented degreaser, you're treating kitchen grime like it's just loose dirt. It's not. Every time you sear a steak or saute vegetables, you are performing high-heat chemistry. Microscopic oil droplets undergo thermal oxidation and cross-linking. This is a process called polymerization. Under the constant cycle of kitchen heat and oxygen, those liquid fat molecules chemically bond together, weaving themselves into a literal armored plating of plasticized varnish over your paint. This is why retail degreasers just smear the mess around. They use surfactants designed to lift liquid oil. But your grease isn't a liquid anymore. It has evolved into a hydrophobic solid. You aren't fighting a spill. You're fighting a chemical seal that is fused to your cabinetry at the atomic level. Enter the chemical crowbar, TSP. The industry wants you to reach for a magic eraser, which is actually just melamine foam, a high-grit abrasive. It works by sanding off your grease and your paint, micro-scratching the finish and ensuring that next year's grease traps even deeper. It's a self-destruct button for your kitchen's aesthetics. TSP, trisodium phosphate, operates on a completely different plane of existence. With an aggressive alkalinity of pH 12, it doesn't scrub, it dismantles. When TSP hits that polymerized shield, it triggers saponification. This is a violent one-way chemical reaction that forces the hardened plastic grease to undergo alkaline hydrolysis. In seconds, the TSP molecules hijack the grease's molecular structure, transmuting that rock-hard grime into a water-soluble soap. Think of it as a molecular surgical strike. While abrasives grind everything down, TSP acts as a chemical wedge. It ignores the paint and slides directly into the microscopic boundary between the grease and the factory finish. It lifts the yellow mask whole, dissolving the bond without ever touching the integrity of the paint underneath. You aren't cleaning your cabinets, you are liberating them from a decade of chemical suffocation. However, a reality check is mandatory. TSP is a master of hygiene, not a miracle of restoration. If your paint is already physically failed, chipped, cracked, or peeling to the substrate, TSP will only give you a very clean version of a damaged cabinet. It clears the path for a new coat, but it cannot regrow paint that is no longer there. It's time to stop being a victim of the replacement cycle. But remember, TSP is a professional-grade chemical. You don't just clean with it, you engineer a reaction. Here is the protocol. 1. The master formulation, kinetic activation. Dissolve exactly 2 tablespoons of genuine TSP powder into 1 gallon of hot, not boiling, water. The reason: you must avoid TSP substitutes. They are phosphate-free surfactants that lack the ionic strength to trigger saponification. We use hot water because heat is a kinetic catalyst. It provides the thermal energy needed to lower the activation energy of the chemical reaction, allowing the TSP to snap the molecular bonds of the hardened grease much faster than cold water ever could. 2. Chemical armor, biological saponification. This is not a suggestion. It is a laboratory requirement. Wear heavy-duty nitrile or rubber gloves and wrap-around eye protection. The reason: at a pH of 12, TSP does not distinguish between the grease on your cabinets and the natural oils in your skin. If it touches your bare hands, it will literally begin to saponify you, turning your skin's protective oils into soap. That slippery feeling you get isn't the cleaner. It's your skin dissolving at a microscopic level. Protect your biological barrier. 3. The circular extraction, mechanical advantage. Use a heavy-duty synthetic sponge. Avoid natural sponges as the TSP will eat them. Work in firm, circular motions, focusing on 1 2-foot section at a time. The reason: circular motions provide multi-directional mechanical stress, helping the TSP wedge itself into the microscopic pores of the polymerized film. You will see a shocking brown sludge liquefy and run down the door. This is the visual proof of the reaction. Decades of airborne cooking fats, aerosols, and nicotine being ripped from the surface and suspended in the solution. 4. The neutralization step, resetting the pH. This is the amateur line. Most people stop after the first wipe. You cannot. You must follow immediately with a clean water rinse using a fresh, dedicated microfiber cloth. The reason? Because TSP is a powerful base, it leaves behind a high alkaline crystalline residue as it dries. If left on the surface, this residue creates a chalky film that will prevent any future paint or touch-ups from bonding. By rinsing with plain water, you are neutralizing the pH, bringing the surface back to a stable 7.0 and ensuring a factory-smooth finish. 5. The structural red line. Know your substrate. Heed this warning or risk permanent damage. This protocol is for painted, metal, or laminate surfaces only. The reason: on natural wood cabinets that are stained or varnished, TSP's high alkalinity is too aggressive. It can react with the tannins in the wood, causing the grain to darken significantly or stripping away the delicate stain entirely. If your cabinets look like raw timber, put the sponge down. You need a pH-neutral solvent, which we cover in the wood restoration dossier in our vault. The $66 billion remodeling industry survives on your fear of looking old. They need you to believe that a dirty cabinet is a broken cabinet. But science proves otherwise. When you spend $3 to fix a $20,000 problem, you aren't just saving money. You're exiting a system designed to keep you in debt for cosmetic lies. The original paint is still there. The structural integrity is still there. All that was missing was the right chemical key to unlock it. If this truth saved your budget today, share it with a neighbor who's currently staring at a predatory remodeling quote. I'll see you next time on what they hide.